Hello and welcome to Talks Around the Teapot. I'm currently the only person who can speak because I'm gonna go mental at the beginning of next episode.
And I don't know what to say. I don't know the interaction, so I can't help at all. I'm sorry.
I'm very happy with myself.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm not. I'm gonna kill the Viscount.
You're not, I am.
We're going to kill the Viscount.
Sorry, what I meant to do was...
Oh, he's got the fucking ring.
Don't.
I'm very happy with myself. I got what I needed. It's mine. It's mine. It's okay, that's just real life.
Lyndon is not a very nice man, and I want the internet to know that.
How
do we even begin? Because we filmed 2 episodes today. We've been playing for 10 hours straight. And it ended with the amount of things that it ended with, the amount of twists, the amount of near deaths, what the fuck was that actually? How did we start? We started by fucking being like, oh, should we tell Lucas and Albert?
Yeah.
Fuck, we told Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started off. We would have died if we hadn't.
It started off with me going to tell Albert we're going to the ball, you telling Lucas you're going to the ball, and you doing weights with Thomas.
Yep.
And you rolling a nat 1 on your stealth.
Yeah. You being very loud having sex.
How is there anything funny from this episode? Genuinely.
How was I having the best time of my life? And that one.
And then
With Thomas. And then this happens.
What's the big deal? You found your dad. Congratulations.
So we got to the ball. I'm really gonna annihilate the Viscount. I actually can't.
But you liked him at the beginning.
I didn't.
I
I was glad that he was alive because I thought he was a civilian.
We're glad.
I can't
But
believe we
I'd
were
never
cheering
liked
for him
him.
to live. I can't believe we were cheering when he was terribly sorry about this and killed the guard.
So
I
easily.
can't believe how much I loved him in that moment. I can't believe that in this episode you made me like him properly, fully, for the first time ever.
Also, welcome our...
Hi.
An episode to join on.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So Kita is a friend of ours. We've done a lot of work with the Garrett Theatre Company together. That's how we met. And then I guess Lyndon was like, come do D&D with us. We have a really fun, character-based, slow, no plot Regency show.
Yeah, what did he say?
So, Nick, I already knew quite a bit about Damsels because...
Kita has read Talia's journal.
I've
Kita
read
read it before I did.
Kitta is the only person that we can speak to who's not in the campaign until now.
So every time we met up for any rehearsals or shows or anything, we would be like, oh my god, Talia and Rosalinda are doing this.
I was every time I met the 2 of them, I was catching up with 4 people.
We were also catching up with 4 people though, because you were telling us about all of your D&D
Yeah,
characters.
that's true. I love it when you have other D&D people in different campaigns that you can info dump on.
Yeah, and I was just like, by the way, our cleric died in your face.
Yeah, I was really like...
Anyway, how did Lyndon approach you?
So yeah, I was just told about the campaign, and I think the idea got floated a while back. It was...
Because I remember he spoke to you about it when we went out for dinner.
Yes, it was...
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. We all met up to discuss a different project.
But I don't know what he meant.
And you were like...
Taking these off.
Well, we need a, we're wanting a guest. And you were like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And then, yeah, we just kind of messaged a bit being like Taya said to message you, and we ended up, we just kind of discussed some things about the character, what class and stuff I was allowed to play.
Yeah, what was that conversation?
Because I was like...
This is a really limited world.
Yeah, I was like, can we spec an artificer so that the spells are potions and science? And he was like, no. Because that would have been really fun.
That would have been cool. But I can see why he did that.
But yeah, then I was like, the other idea is a monk.
Fucking love that you were a monk.
So we just end up...
Talia thinks you're very cool.
Even after I kind of insulted you.
I prefer to think of it as a martial artist, though, rather than a monk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ended up discussing some things about backgrounds and the sort of the character building side of things. And I was told sort of the general situation I'd be in, and we discussed quite a bit about my backstory, and there's some things that you guys don't know yet. And because I like kind of message you the general concept of Marianne.
I love Marianne. I'm so sorry for what we put her through.
Did he tell you that there wasn't going to be combat?
No, he actually did, because
Our first episode with multiple combats.
Yeah, so I initially did roll my stats, and then they were terrible. I rolled 2 9s, 2 11s, and 2 13s. And I was like, I will die. And also because I was like, that means there's literally no space for any sort of like at all character-based side of things, because those 13s would just have to go into Dex and Con.
Yeah.
And so we ended up discussing, and he let me use standard array instead, just so I actually had a chance to survive. And yeah, because I was like, oh, would I be able to have like a dagger hidden on me or anything like that? And he was like, no. And he was like, it's fine, you probably won't really be having any combat anyway.
Did you know you were lying when you said that?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But yeah. No,
Why wasn't she?
You were
allowed to hide
painting
a
minis
dagger
for
on
this
her?
weeks ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
On
Wasn't she allowed a dagger?
Because it's just unladylike. I wanted them to have the yeah, you're weird and different, remember? I wanted them to have the full experience of the damsels.
That's
So you have to start as a know-nothing civilian.
That is true.
The damsels
Slowly
experience
through hours
That
of
is true.
gameplay.
Yeah.
The only reason you would have had a dagger on you is if you knew about the world that you were coming into.
Because the thing is, I went into my first combat unable to do magic, not even knowing what magic was or that I could do it really. No weapons and 0 strength. I spent my first combat dodging, grappling, and running. Which was terrifying, but that is like a summary of the damsel's experience and level
the
of
only
like
damsel who has ever started with anything is me, and that's because I put so many stats into my strength.
Yeah, and so, yeah, because just as the character and like where she was coming from, which you did hear, which is that somebody she knows had forged banknotes. Because
framed.
Yeah, so been framed for having those on her because she was like involved in. Because that was something we discussed together. Because I wanted to have
Backstreet is very cool.
I needed a reason to be there that wasn't.
Yeah.
Reason to be investigating it.
Yeah, I had because I had the idea for who that character is and how I know her. And I think because I knew I'd be investigating something, so I suggested the idea that she'd like knew something, and so had been framed and was likely going to be transported, because obviously that was
a big thing.
Yeah, that
scary
like,
thing.
and also because that's like I thought that's like a fun thing that you probably hadn't had brought in from this time period. Like kind of one of those.
I'm disgust.
But like one of those things that we probably hadn't necessarily had a character who was like.
And
at
also
risk
like
with it.
the fact that all of our girls are until very recently have been very sheltered countryside girls. Like we've never known anyone to be transported. You know.
Yeah.
That's not in our world.
Yeah, so I was kind of also coming at it from slightly different, because obviously I know all three of you have been very like naive sheltered sort of situations. I was like somebody who's a bit more where she's a little bit older, she's married, she's coming at it from
She
slightly
knows the world better.
She knows like the world in terms of like what like
It's the real world.
like what 1820s England was actually like in terms of like the transportation, women's situation, like a lot more of that stuff. She was very down to earth with that, but then wasn't necessarily expecting demons. That was not in her worldview.
One of my favourite bits of the whole, I'm calling it one episode. I don't know how we're going to split it or edit it. It might be 2, it might be 2 parts of one episode. But one of my favourite bits was
Part 1, Part 2.
was the way you narrated her build up to drinking the blood. When you were like, well, I started this evening like this, and then all of this shit kept happening. So I guess I'll drink the blood the demon told me to. Because, like, it so sums up, like, this poor woman.
She didn't even know she was going to be healed. She was like, I might also be transformed into something, but at this
Lost
point...
her husband.
She was like...
Sorry.
She really did what our girls did in like 20 episodes.
In one.
Yeah, because she was at least kind of into a little bit more primed for the fact that bad shit was going, because she at least knew children were missing.
Yeah. We didn't find any of those children.
They died. They were killed to do
They
that
were
ritual.
killed to do
Like,
that
all the hundreds of people at
that
Northumberland
we just
Manor.
left behind.
Yeah, that's like, that must cause a social scandal though, if like, because that's loads of like
That's all
upper
the
class,
elites.
that's a load of upper class people who have now been killed.
And how are they going to cover that up? Like, what
It's
are the
not like
police
they
gonna
can
find?
say, carbon monoxide poisoning.
There's
It's like
blood everywhere and like massacred bodies.
You'll just have to wait.
But no one knew that the ball was going to be at Northumberland Manor except the people who went there.
That's true.
So
I hadn't thought
all
of
it's
that.
going to be is
a load of people
a
going.
load of people go missing and they're going to be like, whoa, what the fuck has happened? No one's going to know, oh,
They're dead.
Northumberland.
Yeah, and also I wonder they could just set fire to the manor because then it would,
And I was
and then they'll find like bodies and stuff, but they'd be like
Oh, it was
charred.
a tragic fire, yeah.
the second Great Fire of London.
Yeah, because they'll presumably be able to eventually track down where people weren't to some extent, but
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're going to cover
These
it
are all
up.
big houses. They've got nobody near them.
If we weren't traumatized before,
No, these are each house is like right next to each other.
Yeah, but all of those
the
people are
strap.
at the party.
that's true, probably.
Yeah, they're going to invite all the neighbours. Otherwise, they're going to be like, people were screaming, there was gunshots.
Yeah.
I think we need to
Also,
help.
like,
I had a roar of a demon.
Like, everyone there is the elite of London. That is
Yeah.
posh street. Sorry, my brain keeps becoming someone else's.
I'm just so out of it right now. Why is one of my pearls on the table?
Where?
That's mine.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I did kind of like when I included her husband. I was like, Lyndon's gonna kill him. It was like as soon as
It was when we went out looking for your husband. Like we rolled
We really
quite a
did
few
try.
investigations.
We rolled 3 and asked like 3 different people.
Yeah.
The Viscount also looked.
And nobody knew anything.
Yeah, like the Viscount was
Didn't-
actually looking for
Did
anyone.
we?
In my defense, I never planned to kill your husband. The thought actually never occurred to me. I just didn't let you save him. Well, not let you, but you know what I mean. That was just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, he's dead.
Like there was a very
Because I didn't care.
there was a very brief interaction between you and your husband,
Seems
and
sweet.
he seemed
nice.
yeah,
no, he was genuinely really nice. That was like that was the whole
I
they were.
didn't like him until I saw the interaction. and then I was like,
Same.
oh no!
Like I thought he was gonna be awful, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh
They're
no.
like they're childhood friends.
Oh,
They've known each other since they
Keto, why are you doing this to me?
Oh.
and we let him die.
they've been friends since they were children, and
She's not even had a chance to grieve.
she has not. She is not.
I was gonna patch up the fucking Viscount's shoulder. I was gonna try and be nice
Yeah,
for once.
yeah.
don't
Won you
don't be
over.
nice.
By the end, I'd won you over, and that's all I needed to know. The time was
Everyone who has ever defended the Viscount on any of the social medias, I hope you're fucking happy.
I didn't trust this man from the start. All of you thought that I was just jealous. I thought there was something nefarious to him. All of you told me I was dumb. I was the only one that saw him.
To be fair, I was one of the ones telling you we were dumb.
Everybody else was too. Everybody else put my suspicions down to the fact that I was jealous.
He is a good guy.
Paranoia is
track
always
record,
justified.
though.
Thank you.
This is what I have learned through D&D. Paranoia is
Yes.
always justified.
Thank you.
We're getting off track. I think.
Are we? I feel like
we
this
need
is still
to
on
talk
track.
about the Viscount later and stick with the first bit still, because I'm not ready.
He went to the ball. He got to the ball. There wasn't much to talk to about between
We met
time and ball time. So
someone called Mr. Stanhope,
He was a colonizer.
colonizer.
yeah, there was a whole bunch of other people that you could have met, just random people. But
Yeah.
And then there was this one woman who offered
all
us
dead.
champagne. We'll get on to her later.
Yeah, she was weird. She was weird from the start.
weird staff member.
I thought she was like a secret ally somehow.
I thought she
Or
was
evil,
against
big
us.
bad. Yeah.
I said this to them off camera earlier, but I genuinely just thought, like, Lyndon might just not know how domestic servants are.
That's
She's
perfect.
a really audacious servant.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like servants don't do that, but I'm not gonna like call out Lyndon for like historical inaccuracy in this D&D game.
I'm very historically inaccurate with our tellings.
Yeah, because I know like obviously it's like an urban fantasy setting. You have to take
There are
liberties.
always, yeah.
You're gonna have to take liberties for the story, so I'm not gonna like start shit.
Yeah.
I thought that she was against us. I thought she was the one that had like set up this whole thing.
When she came back at the end, I thought she was going to kill us. I thought she was summoning them and
yeah,
helping them
until she
for a
started
second.
fighting them.
Yeah, same.
And then I was just confused.
But we're
but
getting
back-
off track again.
Jumped ahead again.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about.
You did some investigating. You went down to that lower library.
Fuck ton of investigating.
We danced.
Oh yeah.
I danced with the Viscount.
You danced really well with the Viscount. You had a good time.
Really, but I got a nat 20
Yeah.
with the Viscount.
I'm having more horrendous Rosalind thoughts.
I got to dance with my husband. That was the last thing we did together.
Aww.
Thing is though,
But then you danced with another man afterwards.
No, because she knew that I wasn't a man.
That was
Yeah, I knew
funny.
you weren't
You
a man.
were just like,
Like
you're
2
not
minutes
a man.
in, maybe less.
and then also I kind of clocked that, and then I also because I think we did go and talk after that because I was like, yeah, maybe go out to the garden. I'm gonna go.
You were
Like
like, these girls are sus.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna look into this
You
situation.
must have thought we were so fucking weird. These like 3 teenage girls, like one
Yeah.
of them is dressed as a man, so audacious, like being
What's
so
really-
suspicious but being so defensive and so like, you're suspicious, actually we're not suspicious, you're suspicious.
Yeah, I think from her perspective, she saw these people come around and like, I think she could kind of, because like when you were walking down the gallery and you three were like very specifically looking at stuff,
Yeah.
and then the Viscount was just like rambling, talking about a painting.
He does do that.
And I think, yeah, her kind of idea was that there's something, they know something, they're looking for something. I want to know what that is, because like it might be the same or it might be something else that could help. Like,
The thing that's funny about me being the one that dresses up as a man all the time is as a character, it makes such complete sense. As a D&D game, she's got the actor feat, all the charisma, all the pluses to performance, disguise. I have -1 in everything charisma-based. It makes 0 sense. I'm the worst of the 3 of us to be trying to disguise myself, and every time I'm like, I'm going to be a man.
Actually, that brings me back. Remember when Albert came to our room and we were talking about how you were going to dress up as a man? Part of me was going to be like, I've dressed up as a man once before. I broke into whites.
Oh.
I love that again. Albert was just like, sure, that was fair. That tracks.
Yeah.
Fucking gay.
But anyway,
Albert thinks of me.
Weird little lesbian.
yeah.
It's what everyone thinks.
Oh
of me.
no, because we had the bit where I was like, how would you talk to a woman? And he was like,
Oh yeah.
like, I don't.
That
I
was
don't.
funny. I love Albert.
Me and Albert just
He knows how to talk to women.
the opposite.
Oh, I don't have phantom wig, I have phantom hat.
Oh, weird.
That's why my head feels weird. I was like, I've not worn a wig, I don't understand.
Sick.
we had our little confrontation in the secret library.
That was so
That
funny.
was so funny with
That
your
was so
nat
funny.
one.
That
It's
was
so
really
satisfying to have like an actual adult character, even though she's still a young
She's
adult.
22.
But it's the fact she's a married woman and she is an
Yeah.
adult. Like,
in
it was so fun to have an adult talk to us as an adult talking to children.
Yeah,
Which
she
is
was
what
just
we
like-
are. Unhinged teenagers.
Yeah, and especially because like when you try to be threatening, you're standing between her and the door, and it was like, come on. And
What are you doing?
You know what I'm putting it down to though, which is really Talia of me? You just don't know how strong I am.
But also,
You just don't know how much I could actually take you.
like, but even then, even after seeing this, you were still just posturing rather like that. Like,
No, I know.
Yeah, Talia does do that.
But I like how come like even if you have the strengths, you're still like from
doing
how
anything with it.
like yeah. So
Yeah.
even if you have backing, even if you have something to back it up, you weren't actually doing anything to show you could back it up. You
No,
were
I
just, like,
know.
you were just throwing your weight around.
Absolutely.
So she was like,
You're completely
Yeah.
correct. But the Talia in me is like, you just didn't know that I was really strong and that I could have fought you, and you didn't know that, and that's why you said that. But like,
Teenager.
yeah. But then
17-year-old in my brain.
And on the flip side,
I don't know if it came up on camera, but I only looked at Talia when she was speaking. Like when she'd ask me a question, I'd look at her to answer. But then the rest of the time,
You were really
all
like,
through that
I'm not
conversation,
engaging with this.
I was looking at like Rosalind, because especially as the power move of like Talia was like directly in front of me, and I was just looking to the side to
That
look at
is
like
so funny.
because like from
That did-
Marianne's perspective, you were the one talking
Yeah,
sensibly,
yeah.
more like practical. Like even though you were like Rosalind was doubting herself and being like, "Oh, we don't know," and I was like, "No, you do."
No,
and like
that was so nice for me. That was kind of the opposite of your experience with Marianne, because this was like, yeah, like an older, more established, like proper woman, like validating Rosalind, and Rosalind, like that's what that she needs, to be honest. And it was a really nice moment where she was like, oh,
but also like you were the one who was like,
but she was.
you were the one who were answering the questions and were like,
Yeah.
like presenting what you knew, and we're being like, oh, there's missing children. Yes, we know about that, and we're like working with me. So I was like,
It's
okay,
so
yeah, I'm gonna look at you, and I'm gonna look at you sometimes when you're like,
I'm
because
glad.
you're just kind of being chill in the background, but I want to.
Yeah, I could say
I really
too
think
much.
you've just described our three characters to the T.
Actually.
Yeah,
It's
got the
so
vibe quite
sad
quickly.
that the first half was the most confident and capable Rosalind has felt ever. I don't know why, because she's been a mess this last few episodes. But it was something about being at the ball and being in a situation where, like, for the first half at least, she was like, she knew she was the one who could navigate it and get us where we needed to be and get us out of trouble if she needed to. And she was really confident about that, and she could. And then the nice moments with you really helped her. And now she's about to be in the worst state she will ever be in. So let's not go there yet. But
Well, maybe not the worst state she'll ever be in.
Do you know Rosalind?
We're talking about.
But if you died, she'd be in a worse state.
I'm not certain.
it would just be different.
I think there.
It's kind of incomparable, because I
Yeah.
would also say the worst state Rosalind could possibly be in is equally this and the end of the episode when you turn for the first time. Those are equal states. They're just different and incomparable. But that's the worst state Rosalind could be in. It's this and that.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Yeah.
She's experienced one and it was fine in the end.
Yeah.
This is something she's going to have to work through forever. Probably.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we told you stuff and we realised that we could work together, which was after like 3 hours of your sus. No, your sus.
I don't trust you.
To be fair,
Insight.
we both had, like, both sides had good reasons to not want to share that, because you were, like, demons, esoterica. And from Marian's perspective, the last person who looked into this got forged blank note planted on her. Also, because I
probably did that.
looked in, because, like,
Viscount's orphanage.
because, yeah, we were looking at stuff like that, because I tried to, like, we were trying to find a crime that could get transportation as a punishment.
Yeah, were you like Googling what could get you transported?
There's a really interesting website called the Old Bailey Online.
Oh, you've told me about this.
Yes. So I was looking up, because you suggested fraud, Lyndon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like looking up instances of fraud. And, so I looked up fraud between these dates and like and just to like look through to see what the punishments were. And I specifically said, because sometimes like men and women get different punishments for things. And there were instances of fraud where a woman was transported. There was only like 2 because there weren't many instances of women being charged with fraud. But one of them was for possessing £3 worth of forged banknotes.
Wow.
So I was like, using that.
That's really cool. That is very
Also, it's so funny, like £3.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the equivalent of that? We did used to know. We figured it out at one
We
point.
did.
It'd be quite a lot.
£3 would be like
Well,
300.
you said £6.
Yeah, it was £6 for her because they really wanted to make sure she was out the way.
Yeah.
It'd be like
God.
£600 today, I think.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of different to work out equivalent prices because, like, what you could buy with money was just slightly
it was all
different.
really
There's 2 different parts to it. There's just the interest. No,
We can figure out a system
because
for us for this
money.
thing. It's always, we never remember it until we need it.
Yeah.
We don't have somebody who can just buy everything for us anymore.
I wonder why he was doing that.
Fucking betrayed us. Fucking cunt.
He didn't betray us, that was always his plan.
Yeah, betrayal.
Everything went to plan. More or less.
According to plan.
Anyway, what happened
Harold
next?
kind of gives Tim Burton vibes in my head.
Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Why? Because his daughter's a fucking emo teenager.
Yes.
No, I was thinking of like the shape of Harold is very Tim Burton shape.
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
Yeah.
You know?
He is the dad, the rich dad from Court's Bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway.
So, yeah, we kind of did some investigations.
Yeah.
You guys went to the study.
We
I
were
wonder
like,
what that...
I can't believe she was like, oh, I'll talk to the Viscount about his orphanage and he'll sort it out. He
No,
did
because
it.
even then...
He did it.
No, even then Talia was like,
Yeah, as Taya, I had that for a bit. Rosalind is gonna hate herself so much.
Talia didn't
That's
even
when
want
we
to save
saw-
him for
I'm
her.
scared. I'm
Talia
so
was
scared.
just like, these two are going to go mental if the Viscount dies. Now I wish he died.
Anyway.
But he wouldn't. Cause
Imagine if he died before he could have got to do
That
He
would've been
wouldn't
so
because
funny.
I accidentally overheard what level he is and he wouldn't have.
Did you not see him just... Whoops. Sorry. My worry was him taking too much damage.
and us getting sus.
Yeah. But he didn't.
It worked out well for you, actually. Narratively, the
natural-
dice helped you.
That critical hit on him where he rolled a natural 1, I was really like, oh shit, what if he rolls like a 10? Like, then you're just gonna be like, how much fucking health does he have? He would have made his move right then.
Oh shit.
If
We've
he'd
been
been-
so...
If he'd been hit for, what, 10, 15 points, I don't know what the guy... It was...
I can't believe there was a split second.
There were swords, weren't there? There were guns. So he could have been hit for a maximum of 20 then. And if he'd been hit for 20, he would have just made his move right then.
We would have been so screwed if he'd made his move then, because then, like, we wouldn't have had Rosalind. We'd been trying to do that fight with the guards.
Mhm. Evil. It's the first time I've ever used magic properly.
Evil man.
Oh, well done. So proud of you.
Yeah, well done. Sorry, that was really sarcastic. But
I
genuinely,
know, but
well
like
done.
Yeah,
now,
well fucking done.
Yeah.
Look what mess you pulled all of your friends into. Oh, I know this guy in London.
I know how she's gonna think about all of that. Anyway, let's carry
I
on with
wonder
the
what
plot.
that'll do to the way that she feels about screwing over Talia. Why can't you give our girls a break so that their relationship can just become a relationship before you keep destroying it?
Why did me and you, like, out of character, keep being like, my girlfriend? Yeah. Like, when these girls have kissed in-game once.
Also, it's so funny that you, because I remember you guys saying, like, when you were talking about your characters, how, like, you initially planned this, like, really slow burn over, like, 2 years. You'd slowly reveal all this stuff. And,
Yeah,
like,
then we realised we're playing teenagers.
Yeah.
and then you
We
speedrun it.
sat down and we were like, oh, we can't do this. They can't do this.
Also,
And then 13 episodes in, Rosalind was like, I was too scared to love you and I'm too weak to be without you. So, I don't know.
but it's still going to end up being a slow burn anyway, because Linda's going to keep doing this, and
Yeah.
you're still not going to be able to
Yeah.
get together.
Yeah.
She almost kissed you, and then she was like, I can't, because the Viscount's there.
Oh, fuck some.
What would he have done?
I've been sitting on this for so long. I have to do little dances to myself whenever I think about betrayal.
Jonathan Core. Everyone
Jonathan's never betrayed
betrays
anyone.
us.
Jonathan's had
Men
a...
are all shit.
Big burden to
Rosalind's
carry.
gonna kill every man in the world when she stops
Apart
wanting to
from
kill herself.
My dead husband.
Yeah, he was
a good one.
You found some interesting items
We did.
searching around.
Oh yeah, Lucas gave me a sending stone. We didn't
Oh, yeah,
talk about
that's-
that. That was cool. That he just had one in his like bedside drawer, and he was like, "Oh, I've got something to help."
He's a wizard.
I know.
You're a wizard, Harris.
Wizard
Those
Rosalind.
sending stones are so cool.
Yeah, I really like that, especially because like I obviously sort of had a vague idea of what that was when you said it, but like Rosalind, like, and I was really in Rosalind was just like, "What? This is cool. What is it?" Like it was a really new, fun thing.
Also, it's so
Magic
funny 'cause
trick.
that was when I was still back there.
Yeah,
And I was just like doing my hair, like trying not to like make a reaction to sending stones.
yeah. Oh, Lucas is really never gonna leave the house again.
No, not after this.
like.
But what we found in the study, we found
A coat.
The Duke is mad.
so
Very
there was
unwell.
a book, a
Duke's
journal
dead.
that said ritual
Duke
darkness.
got possessed by something, I think.
Ritual darkness, full moon, final. I
Yeah.
think it was.
Final.
I don't like final. Final
No.
is the one for me that I'm like,
Yeah.
because that's the final ritual. They've now achieved what they needed to achieve. That's what I think.
I want to know what the
Or it's the final
floor
test.
tiles were made out of.
Oh yeah, the floor tiles.
That didn't
we,
break.
We
I mean,
tried
that
breaking
makes
them.
sense that you can,
Yeah.
if they were magical, you wouldn't be able to break them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magical weapons, yeah.
How many magical?
Few more levels and I have magical fists.
Yeah, you go back to that place and you just punch those tiles.
No, not here, but like Marianne's just gonna be so fueled with grief, she's just gonna level up like 5 levels. That's how this is gonna work, right?
But the book
should
that I
level up.
had
Yeah.
was most likely ruined now because it was in my pocket and we went into the Thames.
Yep.
Yeah.
We might be able to try and save it a bit.
Maybe.
Maybe. but it has been. I mean, we had an entire battle while it's just in my pocket, so it's had time to soak through.
The cards.
Oh, the
The cards are
cards
dry.
yeah.
The cards where the top one was Divine Soul, and then the Knight Protectors or something. The Knight's Protector.
Yeah.
So that's me and the Brotherhood. There's going to be cards for everything and everyone, and I don't know what they mean, and they gave you psychic damage.
Yeah, she's going to go through all of them.
Why? She's going to die.
No,
she's going to
not.
get damage
She's
from
gonna
every
do it over
card.
a period of time.
And then there was also a vial of blood.
Yeah, that's gone.
That's gone. now.
I drank that.
You needed that.
And there was
I would have
also
died.
A coat.
Yeah, I said the coat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Which technically you're still wearing.
Yeah.
Everything
you
else,
adding that to
everything
your
else
AD?
underneath you.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Oh, okay. That's
Once you put it on and wear it and attune to it, yeah.
Nice.
So technically, yeah, the rest of your clothes tore off, but your coat was still on because I agree with you.
Like,
Oh,
It's
nice.
magical.
I like the idea of a big
wearing-
demon in a coat.
Rosalind wasn't there. No, she was. She was.
When?
Well, now Rosalind has seen magic clothes change size with Talia demon form.
Yeah. Rosalind
Eventually.
doesn't have anything anymore.
No,
so,
eventually.
Yeah.
Well, she does, but she doesn't. But
That means
eventually.
you won't be naked when you go back to Talia.
Hey, that's a good point.
You're wearing a coat. You won't be naked.
Yeah. I mean,
In my
your-
head, I keep my boots on.
No,
Oh.
they're like one
Your
of the first
feet
things to
double
rip
in
off.
size, bitch, and they're clawed.
Yeah,
in my
don't
head,
be like claws
you
poking out
have
the front.
claws.
Okay. Maybe I could put ripped boots on.
Like with the toes cut
about
open.
just
We should try the shoes.
Flip flops don't exist.
We should try Talia squeezing her feet into the shoes that she gave you that like never get dirty, never break, never are ruined, and see what happens.
Try. You can
Anyway.
try.
So we gained items from
We gained
from this whole
items.
debacle. We lost everything, but we gained some magic items.
Yeah.
That's how D&D works.
Yeah.
And then after the study, we went.
Lol, also, I forgot to mention, before the study, Talia tried to punch a man, failed, and then was like, why are you alone with a woman? And that worked!
That was the best save Talia's ever done.
It was, like, that was so, for Talia, who, like, talking never works for that to have worked was so
Like
funny.
19 or something. No, I didn't make you roll.
I don't think he did because he was very flustered.
He was.
Yeah, it was just.
It just was perfect.
Yeah.
That was my first time rolling a 27 since I maxed out my charisma.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Rosalind.
That was my last nice
Elizabeth.
thing.
You know who else who has maxed out?
I hate you!
I do. He's had maxed charisma since we met.
I know.
And we always knew that.
But yeah, we went to go find Albert, the Viscount, and your husband. We found Albert.
He who shall not be named.
The Viscount, Edward Sellingham.
I can't.
Bye, cunt, mate.
And we
Can't
Where's
believe
my
it took us
fucking
that
life?
long to
Ken?
Mate, where's my fucking hand? Where's my dad's fucking ring?
Do you know what really keeps replaying in my head? Sorry, I don't mean to keep
saw
cutting
the
you
ring.
off. Him reaching for her face. Being near
The first time we saw him when we got to London, he did this to her. And that was when I was wearing it on my necklace. Like, he was just trying to get a look at it.
It's really replaying every 2 seconds. In my
This
brain.
is why I need to rewatch everything with the Viscount in. Because Rosalind is going to be replaying every interaction she's ever had with him. Because he was grooming her since she was 16.
Yeah.
Let's not use the G word.
He was.
He came into Frederick's home, sat down for dinner, and started writing to Rosalind at 16 for this purpose.
And everybody was like, you're just jealous, you're just jealous. And I was like, that's fucking weird. And everyone's like, no, that's just how it was, you're just jealous. I was like, no, that's fucking weird, she was 16.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it also was pretty common.
But also,
It's weird. Don't get
it
me
wasn't
wrong.
unheard of, but it was
It was more accepted than it is now, but it still wasn't common.
still out of the norm.
Wikipedia
We also
is full
did-
of people getting married at 16.
We also
18.
did get the age of maturity wrong, which is why it probably started at 16 rather than
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like, if we were all playing 21-year-olds,
Yeah.
it would have started when she was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are playing children, so.
yeah,
We just forgot to check.
Yeah, we
Which
just
is obvious,
assumed
like-
that the age of maturity
we
was
are
18.
we are mature in today's standards. Well,
Yeah.
me and Rosalind are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nearly are. Well, you really basically are, because you had 3 months in a dream world.
So
You're basically
Yeah.
3 months older
Yeah,
than you are.
I worked out I came out of my world maybe 2 weeks before my 18th birthday with them. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So I guess you're nearly 18, even though you're not.
Yeah.
Weird.
Are you gonna let them know? I guess we'll find out.
I mean, we know like 3 months passed in there.
yeah.
Are they just gonna walk in to find you with a little tiny cake?
Oh, sad game.
You didn't want to bring them in on your sadness. You're like, happy birthday to me.
That song didn't exist then.
I don't care, Morne.
When was that song invented?
Like the 40s?
Yeah, I think it was 20th century.
Yeah.
20th century?
It was-
I can't say that. That's a copyrighted name.
You can say the 20th century. It's okay.
Yeah.
They were gonna add an orange animal at the end.
I was.
Hmm.
Anyway.
But yeah, that song doesn't exist, so get fucked.
So then we went to look for everyone. We couldn't find your husband. We found Albert, sent him into the basement and didn't go in ourselves.
We said that we
I
would
felt
wait
like
for
that
him.
was wrong.
I feel like the reason we did that though is because we heard there's 5 minutes
Yeah.
until midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only reason, because we
Yeah.
were really
We
like...
said that we were going to wait for Albert. I almost said Harold then. and then we were like, 5 minutes to midnight. And you were like, it'll be at midnight. And
Yeah.
we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I
Like, left him and I thought I had let him die.
Do you know what's so annoying? Speaking of 5 minutes, Talia was really like, I can only spend like 2 minutes trying to be in here. I have to be out at like a few minutes beforehand. And then I was like, what time is it? And you're like, it's midnight. I was like, fuck you. I was trying to get out in time for us to have time to run away.
Yeah, and
Talia
that's
was mad.
part of the reason that was why Miriam was like, we have to go, like, if you can destroy, we have to go try now because
Yeah.
We don't
5
have any other
minutes,
time,
my
yeah.
husband is probably in there.
Yeah.
This is like, we have to stop it before it happens because I have to save him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so scared. I was so scared you were going to die for a hot minute when you were in there. Because I was really like, it's Talia. I was really like, if something starts, she's not going to leave. I was really like, she's just going to start beating people up.
She really got out by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah. But then there was 6 guards.
I'm sorry that we left Albert, but
Yeah.
he was okay.
He was okay in the end, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You flipped for it, didn't you?
Yeah.
50-50. I thank God he was alive.
Yeah.
But it was when
Because Rosalind was going to blame herself for that, because Rosalind was basically the one who was like, why don't you go into the basement and we'll stay up here? Like, which, on top of everything else that Rosalind is about to be dealing with, didn't need death of Agatha's brother
I was
on
feeling really guilty, and it wasn't until we saw like that force field after
that. Oh my God.
that was
yeah.
like, he's dead. And then I just jumped into the River Thames. Like,
We are all going to die of cholera. That's
yeah.
Agatha definitely is. You're a sick
Oh yeah, I
girl.
didn't make you roll that morning, but don't worry about it.
Well, for Lord knows.
There was more adrenaline in her system than there ever had
I can
been.
just assume that it's been like 2 weeks, so I'm probably almost at the end of being weaned off.
I don't
Because I wasn't on it for very long.
do a big time jump.
Yeah.
We
Almost
sort of
2
skipped through a whole week at least.
Sure, if you
The
want.
last time we played was the 12th of May.
If you prefer your -1 constitution, that's fine. You can be.
I'd rather that than being high all the time.
But yeah, so you were like, "Oh, I've sprained my ankle. I can't walk." That was
Oh,
clever.
yeah.
because
That
I
was
was like,
smart because that was like a realistic excuse.
Yeah.
But they didn't care about
that was so because like just trying to come up with an excuse for us to not be in the dance room. It's like I was like, I know they're not like meant to let us leave, but I didn't like. I was trying to make come up with a reasonable excuse because I was like, we are still higher status than them. They are still.
Yeah.
They should still be listening to that.
Yeah, they should still. It's still like a reasonable excuse for us to
Were
not.
you
want to be in
replaying
there.
punching that man when he kicked me?
I'd forgotten the Viscount was with you for 10 seconds.
And he
But now I'm like, oh, he didn't do anything.
he did not do anything.
I mean, that's canon now. But if I'd remembered, he would have cut one of the guys' heads off. So his head would.
Wow.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But no, I forgot he existed for...
I guess he was.
Yeah, I
for
almost
some-
pulled a sword on them, and then I was like, I probably shouldn't do that.
I very almost pulled out my gun, but I was like, I'm outnumbered 1 gun to 6. So
it was 1 to 4 at that point.
Yeah.
okay, but still outnumbered.
Demolished them.
Yeah, and I was like, even if I can't stop us getting in there, my hope is if I'm walking slower, if I fall,
buy us time.
it will make us get inside because like they're clearly wanting to throw us in for a specific for the thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can just slow us down,
Yeah.
if I can fall over, it will just
That
make
was
it
such
take
a
longer.
good. That was so good. And then I started a combat.
It was great.
Bit of a choice.
It was good because we were about to be pushed into the room.
Well, that's what I mean. I was really just like, at this point, one of us has to. This is gonna become a combat because we're not going in there.
Yeah.
And like, one of us has to do it. And I was really like, there are 6 of them. I have a spell that is guaranteed to hit 3 people at once.
And you did it.
You didn't.
it.
You could have upcast it the first time. You only upcast it the second time.
Yeah, because I was scared that it was going to go on and you were going to throw more at us, so I wanted to save all my second level slots. I ended up not being part of most of the combat anyway, but let's not go there yet.
You know, you can't just keep saying that.
I can for now. I can a little bit longer.
So you escaped. You went for a swim. Oh, there was that sword upstairs that took your interest, but you didn't follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I was really
that's
wishing we
the
grabbed
girls
it.
do that a lot.
Yeah.
I was so like when we were having that fight and I was just having to use my fist. I was like, I really fucking wish I grabbed that sword.
You could have probably used that sword.
Yeah.
Sabers. Can monks use sabers?
I'm not sure. I'd have to check. It's because it's a specific.
I don't think they can.
No, it's like simple and martial weapons.
It doesn't matter.
That's the shit.
Then you jumped in the river, went for a swim.
All got
back
cholera.
Yeah.
This was in the middle of the night. And I guess during the time you were out and about,
We heard a smell.
things
Can't
picked up on your
believe.
scent.
I can't believe when we were fighting those guards, the amount we were cheering for the Viscount as a whole.
Oh, yeah, let's talk more about that. You were loving the Viscount. You were canonically loving the Viscount, doing a bit of killing, doing a bit of surviving. I'd won you all over. By the end, I'd won you all over.
I was
Clapped.
I was just glad to have somebody
Even
else alive,
Maijai.
like on our side.
Yeah.
Because I was like, we are so outnumbered. We need somebody who's good at fighting, and he's helping.
Yeah.
Can I clarify? You half won her over, but the only reason that you did is because you'd won these 2 over. And she was like, I can't let him die because they're going to kill me.
Because now he was fighting for us as well in that moment. Like,
It's all that
he
matters.
did that to help, like, save. Well, we
Like,
thought.
she didn't like him, but she didn't want him to die.
Yeah, which is fair.
I'll take it.
So yeah, then I started hearing some growling and grunting.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I rolled a nat 20 in that moment, or a 19 or something, because everyone else rolled like under 5, I swear. Like, that would have taken us completely by surprise.
Yeah. Surprise round, probably all of them at once. Well, except for the 2 that were chasing someone else.
At what point did you flip it for Albert? At what point did you, like, decide?
Yeah, because I didn't see you do
Yeah.
Oh, like when you were leaving the Thames.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Not getting into the Thames, sorry.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that, and I was like, what is that?
Really at the beginning.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, it's whether or not the Viscount's getting in the water.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
But yeah, there was a dog-like creature.
Yeah, at first there was only one. You tricked us, and you kept tricking us.
Yes.
Rosalind ran to a tree. The Viscount followed.
Which
Talia followed, and then another dog showed up, and the Viscount was like, "Hey, what? Come here!" And he took her by the hand and fucking chopped it off.
After he dimensioned her whole way.
I can't, but like for a second.
There was a second where I was like, oh, she's safe.
Yeah,
And then I
she
was like,
really
no,
thought
she's
that he
not.
was saving her. Like underneath the absolute like shock of why is he able to dimension door? Like, why is he a high level spellcaster? There was really a moment where she thought that she was safe, and I think that
I was just glad to get you away from the others.
And how long have you had that line? How long have you had that? Because that feels like something you've had.
Oh, from like
forever.
Workshopped that.
You've had that for months.
I've already used it on you multiple times.
Yeah.
He told you he wanted your hand
I know.
in marriage. And now he finally has your hand.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's probably tossed that by now, but
Unless the ring literally doesn't come off.
It will.
We don't know that yet.
It will.
grow up, Agatha.
Oh my! Yesterday,
Excuse me.
you were talking about cutting somebody's hand off to get a spellcasting ring.
I've been talking about this for ages.
Yeah, because Maijai is always like hypothetically.
Yeah, I hated that
If
because I'm like,
my dad, Frederick, who's like, you know, has the same ring and it works the same way. Like, you were always like, what if I did that to him?
Just out of curiosity.
to who?
Frederick.
Oh,
General.
cut off his ring. Well, it's the same ring. You've got it. So
Which means that you don't need the ring to do magic. And we'll put that together in game as well. And Lucas will tell you. And
Poor Lucas. What a burden he'll have to carry. This new crush is imperfect.
Stop it.
She's not. She will always be perfect.
I think that's just me trolling because I'm funny.
But like, regardless of like when she like we put it together about the magic, like that's really, as much as that is awful, because like the big thing about that is the connection to her dad. Like that's, for a second she was the same as her dad, which is all she's ever wanted. Like for a second she had something with her dad that her brothers didn't, and now she's lost that. And the thing that's actually going to be much worse than that is she doesn't have the only thing she ever had, which was that she's physically perfect. Like that's all she's ever had to like cling on to forever, like from anyone. And even though, you know, I as Taya believe she still is, it's going to take her so long, I think, to get past that. Like that is her whole self-image, her whole view of the world. Like her... Like,
especially in the year that we're in.
Like, it's so awful. Like, I really can't even begin to imagine how bad this next arc is going to be for her working through this. And I as Taya think it's going to be good in the long run. I think you made the correct choice because it's interesting, but I've had it on my mind forever that Rosalind might end up physically disfigured in this game because, like, her being, like, insanely beautiful has been such a thing for the core of her character. Like that's why she's the way she is in so many ways. So in my head I've always been like, something really might happen to challenge that completely, but I never really thought about it seriously. Do you know, or like I thought it would be much later, but she's really not equipped to like begin working through this yet. But I think when she does, it's going to be really good for her, because the other thing is, like, she's going to hate herself for this for so desperately, for so long, for so many reasons, for the men thing, for being the way she is, for trusting him, for everything. But at the same time, when she does work through it, she's going to kill every man she meets and enjoy it. And I need that for her. And
Every man?
Yes. I don't care. I'll do it. But she's going to rip him limb from limb.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to choke him with his own innards. It's going to be great.
I'll just hold him in place for you.
Yeah, thanks.
What does it say about hands in the repository?
Get fucked!
What does it say about hands?
Have to. Get fucked, actually.
Sorry.
Morne!
Putman trimmer! Unnecessary.
Unhinged.
Unhinged.
That is unhinged.
I can't believe you, actually.
I guess Rosalind isn't the step-by-step perfect description of female perfection anymore in the repository of arts.
Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. From
How long did you...
what episode did we meet the Viscount?
6.
6.
5.
5. And no, 6 we got to London.
Yeah.
Start of 6.
Since episode 6, I had ideas, obviously, but episode 6, when you met him, was because I like to keep things fluid. Like, he could have been a good guy, but when I introduced
When did you
him,
decide? Was it when you played him the first
when
time?
he opened the door, yeah.
Wow.
Well, he didn't open the door. Well, when he walked in through the door,
Yeah.
that concreted, I was like, yeah, of course.
Because the thing with the Viscount, for viewers and for anyone who doesn't know,
Is that he's wonderful.
no.
Very
Is
charismatic.
that, so before we started playing, Lyndon was like, give me a list of all of Rosalind's like main suitors. So I came up with like a bunch of them, and then I was like, okay, but like we decided to give her one that was like she actually was going after, like the only one that the one that she was actually going to slightly take seriously for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of came up with the fact that he's a Viscount, and I came up with how they met. And then I just handed that over to Lyndon, and I was like, do what you want with it. Like, I don't know who he is because Rosalind doesn't, because she's a very naive little girl. Whatever, here you go. Rosalind just wants to marry incredibly well so her parents will see her. Like, that's all she wants. Have this. Do anything with this man. And I knew, because of what this game was always going to be, he could end up being something demonic. I knew he could be a villain. I knew he could... But because of the way it was... At some point along the way, because for a long time I still really didn't know, even when he was on, like, in the game with us, somewhere along the way you really just did get me convinced that he was just a guy. He was just a guy.
Good.
And now I need to rewatch everything that he ever did and said, because you were so obviously playing it like that from the beginning. And his fucking orphanage!
Yeah, same orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
I never trust anybody who supports an orphanage.
Wow. Wow.
Let me reword. What? I never trust anybody in a D&D game or in a film because they always end up being the bad guys.
It's always a, like, look how nice I am.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
to run an
always,
orphanage.
especially people who are like, I'm always donating to an orphanage.
Yeah.
And then they burn it down.
Yeah.
I don't know what film I've seen, but that does happen.
Sneeze.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Viscount ran off with your hand.
That line is really...
The rest of the battle was hectic, I guess.
Suffering.
You
Very
nearly
close
died.
calls.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I shot you.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
did do that, you
God.
did do that. I think it's I wouldn't. I wouldn't call that nearly dying because I didn't go unconscious.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
You got very low hit points.
I think in one fight I was unconscious 3 times in a single
Wow.
fight because both the other melee people had been like grabbed.
This was...
So I was taking all the hits from like 2 fire giants. I was like, fuck me.
That is stress.
This was the first time that I was really like, oh,
We might die.
no, it was the first time that I went, oh, I run into battles.
Yeah.
It's the first time I was like, oh, that's my role.
Mm-hmm.
My role is always run towards the beast. I was really like,
Was that the first time you felt that as anything other than look how cool Talia is?
yeah.
Yeah. I knew this moment was going to come for
And
you.
I felt really bad because I kept being like, I can just get away and they're not going to attack me. And I knew that that meant that they would attack you, but I was really just like, I need to stay alive.
Yeah.
I can disengage.
That is the
as
whole
a bo-
action, isn't
No,
it?
no, I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it as a
That's
bonus
cool.
action, but it takes a key point,
Ooh.
which is why because I used 2 on flurry of blows, which were both useless. Also,
Yeah.
fun fact: I'm an open hand monk, so my subclass abilities at level 3 specifically rely on me succeeding on flurry of blows.
Bro!
Yeah. But yes, I didn't try again because I wanted to save a key point in case I needed one
Yes.
or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't use
Those
my
aren't ours,
inspiration.
they said.
No, they're for to be shared.
Okay. I just had to
Let him know.
let him
before
know,
eats the
otherwise he
box.
would have eaten all of
Yeah.
them thinking they were ours.
What was I about to say? I forgot.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was really the first time that I was like, oh.
It was also because as soon as I vanished, like, there was no healer. There was a vial of blood between all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Eloise, MVP.
Eloise!
Love
Love
Eloise.
Eloise.
My best friend.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do you know what else I thought though now? Rosalind is like really connected to Eloise, who has 9
I've had this
fingers.
thought.
Like, I think that's gonna be cute. I think that's gonna be...
I actually think that Eloise is going to be the one to help you the most.
Because do you know what Rosalind like said to Eloise? Because Eloise was like, I should be whole now that I'm dead. Mummy said I'd be whole. And Rosalind was like, well, I think whole looks different on different people and I think you're whole. She's not going to say that to herself, is she? She's going to be like,
Yeah, but
I'm not
Eloise
perfect
is
anymore.
gonna-
What's the point of me?
But Eloise is going to say it back to you.
Yeah.
I did not know Eloise existed as a ghost. You were just like, because like you mentioned Eloise and like this child that got murdered and
Because
everything.
Rosalind didn't want to be like, this is my ghost best friend who's a little girl. Like,
Well, we would have told you about the ghost if you said that you believed in the occult. but
Yeah.
you didn't. So we were like, we probably shouldn't tell you about demons.
there
and
was a
ghosts straight
second
away.
I was thinking about showing her to you. There was a second I was going to be like, Eloise.
Same! But then I was like, what if she doesn't show up?
Same! I
And
was
I'm
like,
glad
that's
we
so
didn't. I'm glad we didn't because I swear she can only do that like once.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how ghosts work.
But Eloise was helping us.
She did so much damage.
She was so good.
Oh, she's a beast.
I love
You would
her.
have- if you'd gone into the basement, you would have loved her.
Oh, she's been down there.
Of course she would.
Would she have saved the other kids from her fate?
They're the men. They're the men. They're the men that she was like, bring these men to me.
Mm-hmm.
They're the men. She was about to go beast mode on them. It's a shame that we didn't go down there.
Yeah.
She could have gone with Albert.
She couldn't. She's not besties with Albert like she is with
No, she hangs around with you guys. She's just like this floaty
Can I have some water?
essence.
No.
Oh.
But a woman
I'm going to put this
joined our fight.
Oh my god, here we go. A woman
Who
toting 2 massive guns that she could do multiple shots from. Oh.
Is there
There
not
should
another
be another
bottle?
There's only one shot each, one shot from each gun.
Yeah, but...
and we were like,
Another bottle.
don't know who she is.
You were like, it's Jonathan.
No, not that one. That's
You
really
thought-
old.
Yeah, you thought it was Jonathan. You thought it was your dad. For a brief
I
moment,
didn't think it was
thought,
my dad. I was just like, what if it is?
Thank you.
Like, I knew it wasn't.
And no one
But yeah.
considered who it would most
But
like.
I don't think I actually ever saw her.
I thought it was
'cause
Jonathan.
I'd gone
I
up the
Thought about
stairs
Harold
by
for a second, but then I was just like, it won't be.
Yeah.
It won't be one of our dads, but like...
I really kept getting stuck between the fact that I knew we had the description of this woman, but I kept seeing the Madam B mini, and it really, my brain could not handle it. I was really like, it's a sexy middle-aged woman.
It's not. It is
It's
an
not.
old lady.
But I ran away,
It's
bumped
Mrs.
into
Doubtfire.
bumped into Albert, who was alive.
Oh my
about,
god!
just
Thank
about.
God Albert was alive, honestly, and he helped a lot. He killed the big boy.
I love my brother. Thank you.
If nothing else, this whole misadventure has brought you and Albert together.
It
It's
really
made you
has.
close with your brother for the first time ever.
Perhaps that explains your question. Why did he move right up to the beast instead of shooting from a distance?
Oh yeah, he would have known.
He knew what he was doing.
Did he?
He knew that it was Harold.
Did he know it was
Oh, no, I'm
Harold?
talking about Harold. Because
Oh.
why did she move right in?
Yeah. I mean, it was still a dumb move, but
Yeah, but it was...
And Harold knows you're cursed.
yeah.
That's
Harold-
why he was like Taya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold knew that it
For
was
a second,
me.
he would have thought it was Gilbert.
No, he didn't think for a second that it was Gilbert.
No, but he makes the connections. He's a smart,
Yeah,
smart
obviously.
boy. He was like, well, that's not Gilbert.
There's
It could
only
only
one
be.
person that could have been.
Because he knows it can't be Gilbert.
Yeah.
Because Gilbert's dead.
He's not.
Gilbert's
He's
like
on
in
another plane of
a different
existence.
plane.
Yeah.
Gilbert's the last one that we find.
Yeah.
There's no way that Gilbert is not
No,
the last dad that we
obviously.
find. The only way is if you want to do a twist on us, but you just won't because you
Just won't, because the emotional effect is too great.
And it doesn't matter that we know that because it will still
Yeah.
work the same way. Anyway,
So yeah,
I almost cried when I thought
We-
that it was Jonathan, which was a weird
I
response for me.
saw you begin to well up.
Lol.
I was like, I might hit you. I don't want you dead. Unless I'm the one killing you. I don't know.
And then I accidentally shot you, which I'm very sorry about.
It's alright. It's alright.
The moment when you spotted Albert.
Oh, 'cause especially because you could, because
you-
for a second you could only see each other because you were around the back. Like that really nearly made me cry.
Yeah.
That was quite a lot
I
actually.
thought he was dead, and you're evil, so I was like, you've killed Albert. you. But then he was alive, and it was good.
Excuse me.
And he told you to run away. He told you to get back to safety.
And then you didn't.
But you helped him. You were a team. All the
You
Pentecost.
were a pretty good team.
Oh my god, all the Pentecost of the Brotherhood were together, fighting something together.
Yeah.
Sorry, Morne.
Don't be sorry. Remember what they said
Oh
to you?
yeah, actually, fuck you. Love you.
Love you.
It's fine. We're both very traumatized from this episode in very different ways, so we can do this to each other.
Yeah.
I can't wait till the beginning of next episode.
Yes, you can. You're
When
gonna
I
go
go
deranged.
mental. I'm
We're all gonna go fucking mental.
I know, but I want to join in it with you, and I can't do that
It's
yet.
about to be in a really dark arc, guys. Sorry.
But yeah, so this massive beast took on...
Recognise that Harold sent.
Yeah. You were like, he doesn't like that. He smells something he doesn't like.
Yeah, I kept trying to give you little hints and stuff.
What the fuck does Harold smell like?
Harold.
Howard smells like the person that's been hunting them.
Yeah. It's like the person that has shot his brothers and like the other demons.
Fair.
Howard's been on a mission. I don't.
Can't wait to hear what Harold has to say.
It was
Howard's
when that woman, when she
waiting
went
so long.
unconscious and you said turns into rotund,
Yeah.
and I was like, you use that for Harold.
Yeah, that's the
That's
only
his one.
person.
Harold is rotund.
Well, I thought you might have got that when I used
Yeah,
it for the
yeah,
word.
I did, but I
Because
didn't
was like,
put
oh,
it
that's Harold's
together.
word. But then I just never thought that she would be Harold.
Yeah.
I gave her the same hair as well, like curly hair but grey.
Because in my head as
his
well,
is kinda
like,
grey.
Harold doesn't have any spells. Like, in my head, there was just not a world where Harold could be disguised completely.
Mm-hmm.
He must have like an, I don't know.
I don't know what he has.
Myself.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and then Albert
Is
said
there
he's
a
a
way-
master of disguise. Like, maybe that was something he got from his dad, or they, like,
He did.
maybe they worked on that together.
What?
You did before we. even
Albert
went
was
to
like,
the
I'm a
room.
master of
Yeah.
disguise.
Yeah, it's because no different.
He's James Bond.
Yeah, it's
I
because he's
know.
James Bond. Not that James Bond actually disguises himself. He walks around saying, "Hi, I'm James Bond."
If you have something like, I'm not sure what spell level disguise self is.
It's like, I think I can potentially have it, and I'm level 4.
You'll see next step.
But
No,
that's,
I mean it's in spell level.
maybe I do have
Oh,
magic.
yeah.
Maybe we do have magic then.
Maybe.
I think he's got magical items.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I was wondering if it's first level, he could have magic initiate.
Mm. But then Harold, whatever Harold is very high level. Like, all our dads are going to be at least level 10. So,
No.
I love that that's your idea of very high level.
I mean, compared to us.
Yeah, I mean compared to us, yes.
But we're going to get to like level 20, so it's fine. We're not. We
I
are.
just played a level 20 character.
You did.
On.
On
Game
Game
Master
Master
Mondays.
Mondays. It will have been out months ago.
But
True,
but
yeah.
for us,
Advertise it
that was
anyway.
If you haven't
it came
watched
out on
it,
the 18th of March.
go to YouTube and watch it.
Yeah, loads of people haven't watched it, so
Yeah.
see you on that thing.
Yeah.
Game Master Mondays.
Game Master Mondays. I did that. It's called the
Grasping Gods.
The Unknowing Revenge of the Grasping Gods, The Knowing Revenge of the Grasping Gods, something along those lines. I should know. I don't.
Also, I just had the realization that it's so funny that your dad shows up, sees his children, sees their like in the midst of a fight, but like they're both
And
okay.
Talia,
survive.
who he knows, who's this bitch?
Yeah, that's like these, and because like he briefly saw you
Yeah, because
before
he
you
came up the
disappeared.
side that Willie
Like,
and the Viscount
it's like,
were
oh
up.
yes, my son and my daughter's friends, and
This
some
bitch.
random woman.
Yeah!
Some random woman who keeps punching these monsters.
And it kind of
Good
seems
for
to
her.
work a bit.
Yeah.
She's got gumption.
Yeah.
And don't
He liked
forget,
that. I think he liked that.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're covered in sewage water.
Yeah,
as
we're
well.
covered. We're also covered in
You've
water.
been shot in the leg. My dad watched me shoot you in the leg.
Do you know what he was probably more surprised at?
I bet he's done that to Gilbert so many
I was
times.
going to say, he thought that was well funny. He
Yeah.
was like, she's just like me.
Do you know what?
Old man.
I did that.
Do you know what he probably thought was actually really strange?
Drinking champagne.
No, showing up to this thing that he's investigating, and suddenly the three of us being there, who he would have instantly recognised the three of us, whether I was in disguise or not. And he was like,
Well,
if Albert was there, at least it would make sense because Albert was part of the Brotherhood. He didn't even know.
Yeah.
What? He didn't even know that we'd run away.
What I'm interested in, I know you can't really tell us this because Harold, it's something for Harold to tell us.
And Harold
It's like,
will.
at what point he saw us in the night, because in my head I'm like, him coming over to give us the champagne was not his first reaction to us. Like, he must have had to calm down from us being
Yeah.
there. So how long was it before he was like, right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going in
He
with
knows
drinks.
about the Viscount.
I don't think so. I think the Viscount has been keeping everything undercover forever.
I think the Viscount would be long dead if people knew about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah, sure,
Like,
whatever.
my father would never have invited him into our home
That's a good point.
for dinners and
That's a good
parties,
point.
like, if he knew.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they'll probably just killed him.
Yeah, my father would never have allowed him to be, like, trying to court me in
Yeah.
the future.
That's an excellent point.
Like, nothing would have been allowed.
I mean, he shouldn't have been anyway because
Yeah, I
you
know.
were 16.
I mean, he wasn't
Fine.
really, like, like, it wasn't an official courtship because I'm not out in society, and it is weird. But we were allowed to write letters to each other.
Yeah,
Which
he was
is
just
a bit
very
weird,
convincing. He
but-
very persuasive, shall we say, with your father.
Yeah.
Them just like risen off of each other. They're just like you, no you. in my head, Frederick also has maxed out.
Well, he
race.
must, because again, like a sorcerer and my dad.
I've just realised
Oh.
What have you just realised?
if Harold is a frequent citizen, customer
Of the Velvet
of the Velvet
Masquerade.
he has probably seen Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows
So-
who Thomas is. When
Yeah.
he comes home and Thomas is there,
Yep.
Thomas is like, Agatha, I'm so worried.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Harold's gonna be like, why is this
Whore.
He's gonna be like, I know you.
kissing my daughter?
Yep.
He would be, if he wasn't unconscious, if he
be
could,
like, well
if he
done,
could just
baby.
no, if he could just walk in normally, he'd be like, morning, Thomas.
Yeah. I love Harold.
No one can actually see what I did, but it was the double take.
Yeah, it was really funny.
this?
That's really sad you're not on camera. It was, all right, Thomas.
Oh my god, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, he knows who Thomas is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and this magical look on him faded away as his concentration faded. It's not really
Yeah.
a concentration spell, but whatever. He was unconscious at the spell ends.
In it, yeah.
I just feel like that's a thing.
Yeah.
It is now. It's counts.
It's for Harold.
Or for anybody that uses that spell in game. If you're unconscious, it no longer works. We've just.
But that, I just feel like is how that works anyway.
I
Yeah.
feel like most magic should end when you're unconscious.
Yeah, because especially if it is a concentration one, because you're not concentrating, you're
That's not
unconscious.
It's not though, no.
That's what you were saying.
99% sure it's not a
My
concentration.
brain doesn't work.
Set and go.
I don't know what my hair's doing. Your hair looks hot. You look hot.
How are you
look hot.
feeling?
You look hot.
I feel better than I was probably an hour ago. I kind of just cried for a little bit.
Yeah.
You did burst into tears when you saw Daddy.
I did.
Dear Papa.
I feel like I thank you.
I love you.
But you've won D&D now. You can leave. You've found
You've
your
achieved the
dad.
goal
Yeah.
of Demons and Daughters. Find our dad.
Hi guys.
Imagine.
Imagine if you were like, yeah, fuck Gilbert and Frederick.
and
Don't care
it's
about
just
them.
the two of us.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that. One thing that I am terrified of, I know that you guys have said that you're not going to let it happen, but we have now found Harold and we have Albert.
We're not going home.
We're not going home.
But what
They
if...
can't make us.
Harold's
I
going to
know-
train us.
I know they can't make
all
us.
our dads, Harold is going to be the most up for this.
But you can't... Right. Martha right now has a missing husband, a missing son, and a missing daughter.
God.
And a missing Martha.
We'll send Albert home.
Yeah, Martha is question mark. Where is Martha?
We'll send Albert home.
For context, right. Martha is Agatha's mother,
Yeah.
who is deeply religious, bordering on insane.
They keep talking about, she was just going to break.
But we've recently learned that she found out we were all missing, because basically my mother, who we were all staying with, who is also an abusive bitch, by the way, we hate Georgiana.
She found out you were sick.
So she like
yeah, because Georgiana was
yeah.
telling everyone that we were sick.
to
and that's
explain why
nobody
we
had
weren't
seen
there.
us.
Yeah, so Martha went over there and was like, let me see my baby, she's sick. And that's all we know. I think Georgiana has knocked her out. I think Georgiana has been drugging her and locking her up. That's my personal theory.
My theory is Martha snapped and is just out
Wandering
there
the
wandering the
moors.
wilderness.
I don't know, but part of me is just absolutely terrified that Harold is going to be like, I'm really sorry, Agatha, but you can't be here.
It's not
You
gonna
are going
happen.
home. I know it won't happen.
Also, if you have like the demon things hunting you,
Yeah, you can't.
You can't go home.
Okay, no, but outside of London, you're kind of fine.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
why
Albert-
That's why Albert wasn't in London.
Yeah.
So far.
But then they even said, like, Lucas was like, yeah, for now.
Yeah, and they've done the final thing.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's now, I don't think we're ever safe now.
No.
I think they've weakened whatever the gap was between worlds. The rift in the wall is now open for good,
Yeah.
I think. Like, I think the only place we're safe is the Brotherhood now. Like,
you
I
know-
think whenever we go outside.
Well, I will say what you experienced today was not the grand finale. This is not the
No,
gates
obviously not.
bursting open.
Well, obviously.
It's not the gates from the vision that you've been
But
seeing.
this is, like, in my head, the
Hammer.
final thing that they had to do for, like, their plan.
It's a thing that they wanted to do and have now accomplished
Yeah.
quite easily.
Yeah.
Quite
But-
easily.
We do have Harold on our side now.
I think Harold's going to be incapacitated for a while. Because my theory has always been that when we find our dads, like, the way to stop them from, you know, like, taking over the show because they're so much higher level than us, is that they're going to be in some way so damaged by whatever they've been through that they can't fight, they can't go out.
We've just
like-
seen that Harold can fight.
Unless this was his last push.
You just saw Harold get fucking demolished.
True.
Yeah,
He almost died.
he did.
I need to...
yeah, wasn't his arm nearly ripped off?
Imagine if he died and then, like, turned back into himself as he was dying and that's how you knew it was him.
I need to have a big chat with him though,
Yeah.
because
I can't. Next episode is going to be meaty.
I have a backbone now.
Yeah. You're going to be like, why the fuck did you let that woman
Backbone
go
and a
as crazy as she
boyfriend.
did and leave me there with
Yeah.
her? You're really going to be like, you let me live my life scared of religion, and you knew the gods were dead.
You let me be miserable for 18 years.
Because of religion, when you knew the gods were dead.
Yeah.
Some of the gods aren't even real in the first place.
Yeah.
My girl, on the other hand, doesn't process things until way afterwards, so we'll see where she ends up.
Good lord.
So, we need to bring it to a close because...
Right, closing.
Late.
Favourite moments. Favourite moment, Mr. DM man. Go on.
I know
Give
what
us
it
all
is.
of them. Give us every single one of
He's
them.
going to say the line.
Tentacles,
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't like the tentacles.
blood splashing, because that was always going to be fun. I was hoping you might be more involved in that, but that's okay. What was my other favourite? Oh, almost forgot. The Viscount cut off your hand, and it turns out he has magic. Dimension Door. It's a 4th level spell, FYI.
So you have to be, what, level 7 at least to cast that?
7 or 8.
Yeah, something like that.
And then my other favourite moment was giving you
Harold.
Harold back.
Thank you.
Yeah? Favourite moment or moments?
Your favourite moment was the Viscount taking your hand.
Declined to answer.
Okay, that's okay. I enjoyed the Dimension Door for the shock that it gave all of us.
That was fun.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy, but you casting your first spell.
That was good.
Your first actual
especially because
spell.
like I've not told anyone what spells I have.
Yeah.
Because I think it's fun. Because also like they're not there when I'm learning them.
Yeah.
And it's just been fun to me to keep it a mystery. So that was fun. I did like you guys' reaction when I was like, I'm gonna cast magic missile. Because you were really like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You were like, Rosalind is gonna what?
I was like, firebolt. Some sort of bolt.
One, though.
Yeah.
I
was like, you're gonna hit one person. No. No. I enjoyed when we finally brought you on.
Yeah.
Because obviously we knew that you were in the background, and I was like, when are you coming in? Because I didn't know if we were gonna be with you or fighting you.
For a while, yeah, the first few hours we were really like, are you our enemy?
Yeah.
That was something that vaguely occurred to me, but I was like, obviously I'm only your second guest, so that feels a bit weird to do with the second guest.
Yeah. What was I going to
They're
say?
always expecting it, though.
My favourite you moment was the build up to drinking the blood
Yeah.
when you sort of like took us on the journey of Marianne.
So I was like, I just wanted to because obviously you guys the audience has had so much time to spend with you guys to go through what's going on ahead, and you were like, oh, would you even drink it? And I was like, I feel like I need to explain why and just give that a bit of an insight.
It was just
into her
such a
head.
good summary, and it was so entertaining, but also you could feel it, and it was really good.
My other one was Albert and Agatha seeing each other
Yeah, that I agree.
and hearing Talia was my other one. Favourite moments.
Knowing that Albert was alive. As soon as because originally you said Thomas. and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's because I don't know what I saw. I just saw a man.
Oh, I thought you said Thomas when I bought in the other minis, your brother's mini.
Yeah.
yeah, because
I thought that the mini was Thomas's mini.
and that's why I was like, Thomas, why is he here? And then you were like, no, it's Albert, and that's when I'm like, oh, he's alive.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Because if Thomas was there, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here, bro?
Yeah.
They'd be like, go home, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Favourite moments.
I like the moment when we finally spoke when we were in the downstairs library and we finally
Yes.
said all that
I
stuff.
like that.
And just me able to be okay, stop posturing and just
Yeah,
be
that was
okay,
nice.
I'm ignoring you. I'm gonna look at these two because
That was
they're
really
actually
good.
talking sense.
You never did look in those record books.
No, because that's the thing. I was like, I feel like we have a general enough of us.
By that point, we were like, oh, this is bad.
yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be worse.
It's worse than just slave labouring some kids.
Yeah, so yeah, I really like that moment, and I think the fight we had with the 6 guards when we were out
That
there,
was really
that was
fun.
so good.
and you guys being like, no, don't scream, and I was like, no, I'm going to scream. If I have a chance to warn the people in there, I will.
I liked how quickly we kind of dispatched them all, though. They went down quick, and that was
pretty
fun.
But yeah, you seeing your brother again was really sweet.
Yeah.
And I really liked dancing with my husband and the conversation we had, and that was like if he is. The thing is, for Marianne, I don't think she's like really accepted that he's dead yet.
Yeah.
But I think I like that if
Might
that
not
was.
be.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, he might be alive. He might have like just gone into the gardens for a walk and like they missed him. Please.
Not confirming it either way.
I mean, technically that is confirmed that sometimes he just goes for walks in the garden. That is.
And also, we never saw him. Nobody saw him.
Yeah.
Nobody we asked saw him. He might be alive.
Yeah.
does like to slip off sometimes. For
He does. That's why I'm like, maybe he snuck off. But yeah, no, if it was the last minute, I like that was like our last thing together, that we danced together, and like that I was like, yeah, no, he is on board with this stuff, and I'm like filling him in and everything, and we're like working together as a team.
That's really nice.
That's very cute. Yeah. Closing thought, Mr. DM Man.
have fun waiting 30 plus days for our next game.
You won't have to. We do.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to play again.
Same.
And I hate that it's so far away.
For those
Glad
of you,
that we found a dad.
check out the Viscount's playlist again. It's new and updated.
As much as I am like desperate to play again, I also think I'm actually like, as much as I am in a state right now, and I will be in a state until we play again with her, it's kind of easier that I've left her like completely overwhelmed, disorientated, stumbling, unsure what even happened. Like, there's a few thoughts flitting into place, but like it's still very like, because I think it's actually going to feel so much worse for me when she starts to fully understand what happened. So in a way, I'm glad that I'm not leaving her in that for a month, because that would be worse.
Yeah.
Because I know once we get to that, we're going to be playing a bit more regularly again. So, because I'm going to make us. So
We're going to try our best, because obviously by the time this episode airs, I'll be doing my final show.
Exams,
So
We'll have probably finished it.
possibly.
By the time this comes
I
out.
might have finished by now, but it's going to be a busy few months for me, so we're going to try.
yeah. But even if we do 2 a month, you know, that's
That's
better
better
than
than
this.
nothing.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Closing thoughts, special guest.
Did you have fun?
Thank you for bringing me on.
Thank you for
joining.
So you were perfect.
You really were
So
perfect.
perfect.
We hope that you come back for our next
I want to
episode.
have Marianne back for a bit.
I want to come back if you'll let me be here.
We need to
Because-
wrap up her.
I
Yeah.
feel like she's not like, her situation isn't resolved yet.
Yeah, because otherwise Lyndon's playing her.
And that's wrong.
Yeah.
So we do need
And
to.
then I think we should definitely have you back at some point to just meet up and see how she's doing, because I am invested in
that
her.
would be really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other closing thoughts?
Yeah, she wants you guys to be okay now that
Oh.
she's like, these are like kids
crazy
that I've ended
kids,
up
yeah.
like deep in.
Yeah.
But they know what they're talking about, and they seem to be able to handle the situation quite well, but they don't think that they can.
Oh.
So I think she wants to, like, especially like how Rosalind was
Yeah.
talking. She was very much like no, you know this.
Yeah, that Rosalind really constantly.
I think like she's
did
now
that.
like, she's sort of like honed in on Rosalind of like, oh no,
Oh, you have issues.
this girl needs to believe that she can do shit, and then she'll be able to do more.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is all I ever try and do. Okay.
Well, sorry, Rosalind's actually not going to be making progress for a bit.
Yeah.
Rosalind's going to be on a downward spiral for a long time, and it's going to get really dark, so I apologise.
Sorry that it's right at the end, but thank you to all of our patrons.
Yes, we love you so much.
Everybody who joins in to watch us at any point ever.
Because this is so much for us, and like sharing it with you makes it better.
Ring that bell. It's just down here somewhere.
I think it's over there.
Over there somewhere.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know YouTube.
Where's my ring?
No,
But
that is my dad. That will always be my dad's.
for this epic of an episode,
Yes.
Yeah.
probably
back
going to be
one.
split into 2 5-hour.
Bits. I don't know when this talk is airing, or if this is in like.
This will come out after.
Bits of content we can edit out to make it smaller too.
No, but we can't do that. We can't do that. I mean, we're gonna edit out like the costume changes.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of.
The very beginning of this episode was very chaotic.
Yeah, we hadn't played in a while.
But once we finally got a grip and we were in the game,
Yeah.
there was still quite a lot. I
I
mean,
didn't realise it had gone on. I didn't realise it was 8 p.m. when we finished.
Yeah.
it was when
We started at like 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, it was when I looked at my phone. I was like, "It's 3:30. We have
Yeah.
been playing for 5 hours.
That's when
and
we took
haven't-
our first
and we
break.
haven't even taken our break yet."
Which is so weird because it felt like less time.
Yeah.
Because usually we get to like 3 hours and we're like, oh, we're tired. It's
Yeah.
like break time. Like,
But your first break was a change. That was like an hour.
But that was hardly an
it
hour.
was like half an hour.
Anyway, until next time,
Yes.
Love you. Thanks.
submissive and subscribable.